Good evening, everyone. It's the old redneck. It's now 10:27 on Saturday night. I'm not sure how this one's going to turn out, but I got to speak my mind. It's going to drive me nuts all night. I'm sitting here perusing the news, getting a little more irritated every time. I'm watching people tear everything apart in this country for a criminal. But wait, that's not exactly correct. For an injustice that was done and has been being done by a few bad cops over the years. Mr. Floyd's death was a tragedy, yes. And it shouldn't have happened. I'll be the first to admit it. But the police that did it are going through the justice system. They've been arrested. They're going to go to court. And we're going to see how that plays out. But instead of waiting for that, everybody wants instant gratification these days. They want justice. They want this. They want that. Well, things move slow. As my granddad used to say, hit people in hell on ice water. But the other thing that irritated me tonight is I happened to check my email, and I got one from Uber. And they're such a woke company nowadays. They all ride unicorns and chase snowflakes. They're so worried about the black man being underrepresented and all the underprivileged and all this that they are going over and above, and they're not going to charge black-owned restaurants for using Uber Eats as their delivery company. Well, what about these other companies that have been affected by all this? Both the pandemic and the riots. You give them the same break? And what about the Asian community? The Asian restaurants? The Hispanic restaurants? No. Just for black-owned restaurants. Okay. So you're proving you're racist. You're going out of your way to try to prove you're not a racist by being a racist. Now, there are folks that will argue with me about that, and I don't care. But let's stop and look at the Floyd situation and these other tragic deaths that have happened at the hands of cops. Eric Gardner comes to mind, the guy in Ferguson. Were they breaking the law? Did they resist? They didn't need to die, but, if they had broke the law, they wouldn't have been in that position. Now, people at these protests are trying to promote this Floyd as some choir boy. Has anybody looked at his rap sheet? Did he deserve to die that way? No. But don't promote him as a choir boy. Don't put him out there with angel wings and, put him up there with a suit like he's a somber churchgoer. If you're going to protest the man, protest the man. But do it with an open mind and look at his rap sheet. Why was he in that situation? Then we got the funeral for him. Got all the high mucky mucks, people who never even knew George Floyd, are all sitting in the front row waiting for their turn in front of the cameras. People like Sharpton fanning the flames of hatred. Get people talking about defunding the police department. You got all these Hollywood stars talking, this needs to change, that needs to change. Oh, well, let me throw money at it. Let me throw money at it. Let me throw money at it. Got a GoFundMe page for the family worth over $9 million from last I heard. How many of these superstars and these actors and actresses and all that actually knew Floyd? Not a damn one of them. They could have passed him on the street and they wouldn't have noticed him. He was beneath their notice then. But now they can get their face in front of a camera and say, I've donated money to this cause. I'm at his funeral. I'm LeBron James, or I'm so-and-so, or I'm so-and-so. Hey, I'm big and bad, and I'm helping out with the community. Bullshit. If you're helping out with the community, then get down in the community. I've only heard of one basketball star that I can recall that actually does go into the community. He's out here in the Bay Area. It's called Stephen Curry. He does things for the community and the inner city kids. You guys all think you're high mucky muck because you donate a basketball court or a playground. How about taking some of that money that you're sitting on, and how about putting computers or books in front of these kids and encourage them to read and to get an education and to make something of themselves other than what the stereotypical people think blacks do, or any kid does. Instead of making them think they can only be basketball stars or drug dealers, teach them they can be men of business. They can start their own company. If they work hard, they'll make it. Promote that instead of the fast lane lifestyle. That'd probably do more to help the black community than you're standing out at this protest or this funeral with all your phony bullshit. But what do I know? I'm just an old white guy. You got people talking about defunding the police departments. All right, let's walk down that road. All right. Defund the police departments, tying their hands even more than you're already trying to do. Who's going to investigate the traffic accident? Or the home invasion? Or the rape of your wife, your daughter, or a child molester? Are we going back to street justice? If you're peacefully protesting, I understand, and I'm with you on that. You want to change the system, then change it that way. Allowing the thugs to take over and to burn businesses out just for the sake of tennis shoes or cell phones that they can't use. And you all know who they are. You see them doing it. But y'all got the mindset, I'm not saying nothing. Hey, get me a pair of size 10s. You know? You say, so what? They got insurance. Well, you got insurance on your home. Does that mean you want to use it? You got insurance on your car. Does that mean you want to have the time to put it in the shop and repair it? Because somebody hit it because you got insurance and they didn't. You're letting the animals take over, and that's going to be the downfall of everybody. As I said on my previous video, everybody has racism in them. It's been programmed into us by our televisions, by our history books. And I don't care what race you are, you got a trace of it. You know? Whether you speak it or not, or follow through with it or not. First step is you have to admit that you have it. Because we all do. There's a lot of blacks that are impoverished and having a rough time making it. There's a lot of whites that do the same thing, and Mexicans and Asians. We all have choices to make. Sometimes we make the wrong ones for the wrong reasons. But back to the investigations. Who's going to do all that? Are you going to have the gangs dividing up the neighborhoods? Okay, I'll police this side of the street, you police that side of the street. Or are you just going to think everybody's just going to get along fine because we have no police in the streets, so the problem's gone? What's next? We're going to defund the fire department? Because they took too long to get to your traffic accident? I don't know. I don't know where people's minds are nowadays. We all are of the mindset that that death should not have happened. But we're also of the mindset this looting shouldn't. And these cities that are letting the thugs make the rules are doomed to fail. I'm of the mind protesting is fine, but the minute you pick up a brick, all bets are off. But now you hear Black Lives talking about, oh, say their names, but you don't hear them say anything about the 11 black people that have been killed by looters and rioters during the past few days. There's 11 of them that I know of. And their names are never said. And why is that, I wonder? Why isn't Black Lives Matter yelling their names from the high heavens to stop this looting? Might it be because there wasn't a white person involved in it? It was black on black. You know, the dirty laundry nobody wants to talk about. Whether it's in Chicago, Detroit, Washington, D.C., New York, Baltimore, L.A., San Francisco, Oakland. You know, nobody wants to talk about the gang violence or the drive-by shootings that happen in the black neighborhoods. Well, you can't walk across the street wearing that because otherwise you're going to get shot. You're not even safe in your own house. But somehow that's all a white man's problem. BLM is nothing but a bunch of hypocrites. A bunch of glory hounds going for sensational headlines, trying to turn the country into socialism. If they were really concerned about Black Lives Matter, every frigging death that's happened in this riot would be spoke at every rally. But no, they won't get coverage that way. The cameras won't roll. They won't be putting a microphone in their mouth to talk. It doesn't get them headlines. Now, my hats go off to Buffalo, New York cops. They all walked off the force because their mayor gave them basically came down on one of their cops for doing his job. You know? There are millions of cops out there. Out of those millions of cops, there might be, take them all in percentage, maybe 1% are bad cops. That's all you ever hear about. You don't hear about the cop that comforted the kid during the riots. You don't hear about the cops that went out of their way to help somebody because they saw they were in need. The millions of cops that just go in every day doing their job, trying to protect their community fairly. But you all want to trash them with the same brush. But you don't like that same brush being used about you. Is that not a double standard? You know, I still don't understand this world. I really don't. Now you got everybody and their brother bending over backwards so they don't offend any black person. They don't want to say anything that might upset them. If people can't handle speech and they can't handle the thought of listening to another opinion, what the hell good are they? That's why we have the Bill of Rights. You know? Has it been wrong done through the ages? Yes, to all races. The only way you're going to get past it is to let it go and work on it. But then I'm told that's a racist opinion. So, I don't know. Y'all make of it what you want. My hats go off to the cops that are still out there trying to do their job. You know, the ones that do an honest job every day of trying to be as fair as they can. Just don't understand it. Y'all give a shit about a guy with a mile-long rap sheet in and out of jail that got killed by a cop. But you don't care about people that die in your own neighborhoods with black on black crime. Not a word of outrage about it. You don't hear the movie stars talking about it. You don't hear the sports stars talking about it. You don't hear the preachers talking about it. You damn sure didn't get R.L. Sharpton to downtown Chicago or San Francisco or Oakland to preach against the violence in the black community because the cameras won't follow them. Oh, it's just black on black. Don't worry about it. It doesn't sell newspapers. Y'all are being used, and you don't even realize it. Whether it's by a political party or an activist group, y'all letting y'all selves be run around through the ringer with a ring nose in your hand. They're pointing you at targets and pumping up your anger so you go and do the job they want you to do. I hope to hell y'all wake up before it gets too long and too hard to come back from this road. But this is the old redneck wishing everybody a safe old night. Good night to all. You got a comment, leave it below. You want to bitch me out, you do it there. You can send me an email, redneckrebel1956@gmail.com. I'll answer it. My condolences to the 11 people that have, innocent people that have died in these riots at the hands of the rioters. Not at the hands of police officers. At the hands of rioters, like David Dorn, who was killed defending a pawn shop from being broke into, and people put it out on Facebook while it was happening and stood around and watched him die. I guess that made them feel a whole lot better. 77-year-old, 35-year-old cop, 35 years on the force or more, just going out to try to help what he could. And y'all did that. You have no respect for anybody. And people that act like that wonder why people consider you animals. And you act like that, that's what you're going to get. We are better than that, people. Let's all wake up and start tomorrow off fresh and try to rebuild this nation. But if you have a comment, leave it below or send me an email, redneckrebel1956@gmail.com. For now, I want to quit before I get more irritated. Good night. Be safe.